Okay, so today I'll do another episode of Chess Hotel. This mic seems a little bit too loud at times. This is a different one that I've been using, but yeah, I've been doing pretty good actually. It's just, oh, somehow this is too small though now. So I'm gonna try to get to the highest rating on here of anybody online at a given time at least, which at times can only be like, it might not be that high, like 15 to 17. So let me see this here. Why is it like constantly peaking like that? I almost have to be like a little farther away. Yeah, yesterday I notably did that where I reacted to and ranted to the stupid take of Botez and everybody there, like Dina and stuff, talking about, trying to play the victim like, oh, we don't get respect as chess content creators. Not that you get too much respect considering that you're, not a GM or not a world class player, but you're still getting tons of attention and tons of money and stuff like that. Not even saying you don't deserve it, but that's different than just, you can be successful like that, but it doesn't mean that people have to like it or whatever. So yeah, I tend to be pretty solid actually. It'd be interesting to see. Um, it'd be interesting to see how my level could really be assessed because see, most people don't even feel comfortable with their level or can't even really define it. And the reason why they can't do that is because they feel like, are you really doing a classical game? Are you really taking your time? Are you really calculating your moves and stuff like that? And the answer is usually they're not doing that. So, like if you really wanted to, that would be how you assess something. Like how good you are or whatever. Yeah, this almost forces you to take and can be kind of bad, I guess. You always have to be wary of that age file, can be very scary. Let me see. So yeah, we picked on that because again, it's sort of a you're getting a level of success that isn't tied to being good at the game necessarily. It couldn't be, right? Because you could say, oh, they're actually not bad though. They're actually okay, right? Like Bo test herself or whatever. But the problem with that perception is, is she better than the average person? Yes, but is she actually a world class player like a GM or something? No. And by the logic of saying, oh, well, she's famous in part because she's actually good, the reason why that doesn't work as an explanation is because if it was because she's good, then by that logic, anybody who's better than her, which is a lot of people, 20,000 people, they should automatically get the same following or better. And so that's obviously not the case, right? It's not that simple. It's about other things. So you can't look at it like that. Uh, hmm. It's actually a very odd pawn structure for him to have it like this. Like it normally I push this, right? But in this case that'd be very hard to break through, like it completely ruins my pawn, so I'm kind of setting it up to fail a little bit. We'll go like that. So if he takes, I take the bishop, which is sometimes acceptable to do because you have a priority that the knight is so shitty anyway. So that was still a fair thing. You can take here, although this pawn could get dangerous, but there's no way for me to even cover it. If you took here, then I could take and cover it. So he's gonna make a point to try to do that, but actually, This is kind of cute. So that pawn could be super strong, but in reality, it's not even going to last because it's just not good enough. Right, like you won't be able to get there in time. He's got way too many things on it. Yeah, I mean, he certainly seems almost scared of it a little bit. So if he takes, I take. So now here's where it becomes a little difficult. This is definitely an unconventional kind of game, but what I needed to do is I needed to win with aggressively and put pressure, because if I don't do that, then it's kind of screwed. You could get an octopus knight here, although there's sometimes fool's gold because you get it's sometimes fool's gold because of the simple fact that whatever, they'll still have ways to trade into it, so it's not really a guaranteed knight that it's going to stay there forever. But no, these people are maybe a little better than I give them credit for, but I have to address some of my basic weaknesses, like just I kind of let up when I'm winning, or I kind of take some lazy trades when I don't need to. So yeah, the whole thing of it is the fact that I definitely have to be aggressive here given how I played this game. And so you could take an open file, although I'm not really too intrigued by it. It seems kind of dumb, actually, that they could just put a rook there themselves. Otherwise, I could pin this, and then I still can't do anything. I don't really feel too bothered by the king. Like where the king is. He could go there, and I could take, he could go there, I could take to give a check, so it doesn't seem like a huge deal. I just want to be able to bring in something else that can actually attack, create a double stack on the open file. I thought this row would have actually been F could have been better to attack on, but it's hard to figure out how you would even do that. Right, like my pawns got so fucked up. Now I definitely don't want to take. But what this allows you to do is then if he doesn't take, then you know what? What if we do like this? So now he can't take, and then I can take here and check. Even if he moves the knight, I can still get in there. And in fact, then I could like unleash this and check and then take that, but it's not like it's for free anyway. Now the queen could be a little claustrophobic here and actually get trapped, which is odd. But if I go here, they could take, I could take like with the queen. So I could go there, check, and then if they take, I take. They can't take back. So we're putting pressure in a lot of different ways. Right, a lot of different ways that, you know, just a ton of pressure. But sometimes trading is the worst thing you can do, either as a better player or a good player. right? You want to use the material instead of just trading it, or again, especially in an aggressive attacking sense, you have that as well. So if you take here, I can take the bishop, it's no big deal. This does open up something. Maybe not. You know, all this maybe benefits him because I was in somewhat of a good aggressive spot. But if we go there, then where does he go? I don't care. So I often just do things and then see what happens instead of actually trying to calculate it out. But if he goes on the dark square, now I could unleash and take that for free. So it's important for him to stay on a light square. But yeah, so he makes the right move, although I guess his position is just so fucked that he was screwed no matter what, so he's just done. What can he even do? Wait, I still can't even mate him though. I could do the unleash because now he's gonna have to go to the dark square. Or they always rage quit and DC out. So I'm bullying baddies on Chess Hotel, even though these games are still somewhat challenging for me, which is hard to explain. Like, they're not really hard, but they're like, these people are not just ordinary people. Like, how are they even... I don't know. I feel like there's something weird about how everything feels. Like, the 1200 should not represent anything, right, that you know what you're doing, but somehow these people actually feel like they do. So we could do a couple of these. What am I at? 72. Right, so if we were to look at the if we were to look at the players, yes, he's 1678. I should theoretically be able to do that, even as much as I don't think much of this site, or even more specifically, you have the ability to like, even if I win a couple games in a day, not that I really go for that long anyway, you have to like subscribe to premium to do the fucking shit, to be able to play more league games or whatever rated games. Like, imagine paying for premium on here, which I might actually do. Not that I'm even vouching for the site, but more just like, I don't know. It's the only other site with some amount of activity that I can find. It might even be the next best after chessandchess.com, but that's not saying much because there really aren't very many sites at all. That was a very odd move. Like, why the fuck did he move the king there? Maybe there was some trick that I didn't see. It's like, even here, this is a cheeky, sneaky thing. Because you have to address the queen. I'll do it. You address the queen. So if you address the queen, then I take this. Which doesn't seem so great, but now you should win this as well. So again, just by doing that unleash on the queen, it was very good. So you got... He would take, I would take, otherwise I could take this. If you cover it, I could double take, or... No, I can't actually double take at all. But now the queen could come in there too. So if you... Wait, but now you can do this because you wouldn't want to give up the thing. You wouldn't want to give up the rook for it necessarily. So, yes, of course, he saw this whole line coming. That's why he moved the king, so it didn't get pinned down in this situation, assuming he would have let that happen. Um, so this was kind of a demolishment a little bit because they were able. He could actually double attack this though if he just pushes the bishop out and then double attack this. But it's still not enough actually. Hmm. That's the one thing you have to remember. Forget about all the sites or all the other things. The reality is that you know, level play is what it is. You could say inflated this or that, but you can always be getting better and it doesn't matter. So you can't look at all that like, oh, you're playing down your competition. No, you can play like a GM anywhere, or you can play like a clown anywhere. So it doesn't really matter. This guy's really bad. Actually, holy shit. See, this is what a 1200 should feel like. Just sort of unnecessary moves like that too. Just that maybe he's trying to create a double stack or something. But yeah, you're basically cooked. Or like when you're so much of a newbie that people don't even know the relative piece value that the rook is worth more than the knight or the bishop. Like that's how bad you have to be. Or something that even more experienced players don't know, even really high rated players, that the bishop is worth more than the knight, which Bobby Fischer said at first. So clearly I was ahead of the curve. Like it's you could trade the bishops any time. I kind of want to push this side a little bit. His position is just very busted, so I wouldn't be too surprised by winning here. To see once I start focusing, I am actually making progress, but I gotta come up with some unlock condition because the one that I said was sort of unfair. That I have to get to 2,000 FIDE before I can unlock my chess.com account again. Like that's really harsh, but because I failed both challenges, so I had to delete both my accounts, which is a good honor code, but it's also kind of dumb that I failed. Okay, so you can't actually take anything. His position is kind of busted, just all over the place. And then it's a situation where, oh, fuck. I guess I could have covered with the queen or something. So we'll let him have that. We'll just push this a little more. They just get sort of impatient. Like I just want something to happen at a certain point. He has no other material anywhere involved, so he's just basically fucked. Yeah, this is my signature attacking thing where I just push pawns typically on this exact file to try to make something happen. The goal is to keep it open, so you wouldn't want to take with the pawn. You'd rather do it like this into this, or the problem is his knight over there. So now if you push this, it could be a little minor problem. I would take. If you push it here, I can go kind of wherever I want. Like, look at how long-winded it is. Like, I'm obviously going to win this, but it's just kind of annoying. You can drag it out further. So, like, what should I do? If I go here, he would take, I would take. Then we put the knight there, regardless of the, for fuck's sake. But yeah, now we have to find a new point of attack, which I really can't even do. I have no idea what to even go after now. Right, like we maybe botched something with the pawns that allowed me to not accomplish anything. This is such a locked pawn, disaster, nightmare kind of position that you'd get almost in a classical game where you're able to just drag it out, stall it out, bait for a draw. Like, it's so stupid. Now it comes down to the nuance of the pawns or some shit. It brings the queen there. I mean, in this case, you almost would want to trade, but seems like such a waste of time. Like, there is no real good square to go to. Or honestly, you know what starts to happen now is you start to be in the mindset that you almost have to sack pieces. The position will be so stale and stagnant now that you'll actually have to sack a piece to make something happen. Which I could afford to do because I have extra material, but what if you didn't? Then it's just a dead draw anyway. So again, I'd be more than happy. Oh god. I would be more than happy to trade the queen and just start to exploit some of these. Like, see, sometimes this is my problem too. I am too complacent with the pawns. Like, I don't want to move them, or I'm satisfied with the aesthetic structure. Like, at some point, you have to move them. That's the thing. He can't do shit either. Like, he's completely trapped in there himself. Like, his development was so bad with these. The knight can hardly move. The rook is stuck in there. My god. So now we can try to do this. If he takes, I take. He can't bring any other material in, so he has no choice but to let this happen. If he doesn't take, I take. So yeah, more than likely he'll take. Which again is not even me winning material, but it just opens something up. Or that I like even better. Because now take, pass pawn. Like, this is the part of the game that you can just genuinely resent. Like, look at how long it takes. Like, it's so stupid. And then imagine if you do make a mistake here and you do, like, this is the kind of foregone conclusion stupid thing, right? Like, you shouldn't have to do this. It's just tedious, right? Like, I'm clearly winning, I'm gonna win, just get it over with. Now, those kind of positions might happen a lot less at the higher level, or if they do happen, they feel really deserving and meaningful because you know, wow, you're doing it to a grandmaster or somebody really good, so then it feels worthwhile. If that move doesn't do anything, that move does nothing because you can't go anywhere. You take there, you take. I don't get it. Or no, you can do. Wait, what? Fuck me. You can take there apparently because oh my god. So he made maybe a surprisingly good play there with respect to this. That's actually quite clever. See, I'm not even paying attention. I mean, I see it almost immediately, but okay, we have a turn to buy, so let me not do that then. Let me just kill a turn. We have plenty of time. See, I get maybe too impatient, or I try to force it a little bit too much when you don't have to. Because you expect, oh, I'm up material, and it should be easy, and it should be over, but you have to kind of go through a very long-winded, very tedious sequence of moves to actually make it happen. I can bring the other pawn. I like that he's playing out at least. I mean, he's only down by so much. It's not that big of a deal. So he can try to... You try to go back, or even here, you obviously can't do anything because it's covered by the pawn too. Even if it wasn't, actually. So you go behind, and then we sort of... You could just do a bait thing, like, okay, if he takes, then I... Or you can just do it now. So I can appreciate that he's playing out, but it also seems unnecessary, like... What do you expect to happen? Like, even here, I can do something cheeky. Like, oh, I'm gonna trade that, and then if you take, I take, and I'm about to promote, and there isn't shit all you can do about it. So that could be like me like flexing on the guy, but it's actually just like, let's just simplify it all the more. And you can't even escape, so you have to let it happen. Or you just give it up like that. Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like. It's just how tedious and slow these things are. Like, do I really have to do this shit right now? But again, he's gonna flag or he's gonna do whatever he wants. So it's a situation where he played actually kind of decent after some of the early mistakes to even stay in it so long, but you know, if you're not making mistakes yourself, it shouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, that's like the embarrassment factor that sometimes holds people back with something like this, is the fact that like, oh, it'd be embarrassing if you have to think too long or whatever, but it's actually like um that's what even the best players do. So you have to be willing to put forth that amount of effort. Oh, it'd be embarrassing if I had to read a fucking book, like a chess book, or it'd be embarrassing if whatever, if you had to really think hard during the course of a game, right? Even though these are normal things that anybody does at any time and you kind of have to do. Okay, so today I'll do yet another episode of this chess hotel thing, and basically we are actually making some progress. So we're almost up to 1300. And see, like I could almost be the highest person on here right now if I get to 15. And at some point, fuck. You know, it doesn't matter where you're playing or whatever. You should just focus on playing better. But, you know, like, oh, don't get caught up on ratings and stuff like that. But when it's inflated and all that, that's fine. Right? But you still want some general idea of what the level of play is. Like, you know, I should be able to be like one of the best people on here because this isn't like a super serious or competitive site, although it is somewhat active, I must say. I don't know if some of these are bots that you play against, but like obviously they're being treated as players, but I don't know if they're actually. Sometimes they'll do that. It'll make it seem like I can't remember what games do that, but they'll make it seem like it's a player, but it's actually just a bot. Right? Even if you try, like Hearthstone will do that, I guess. He'll queue up for a match. So now I could take that, but I can't do it. See, this is my V-shaped structure that I try to go for. I could actually do this because if he takes, I take, he takes, I still take. With the bishop and the knight, I try not to. And then we guarantee a trade here because you have the... You were going to take the bishop if he didn't do that. I mean, he's like me. He likes to trade, so fuck it. That's my favorite thing to do. Right, but I shouldn't be too eager. It's funny because, see, this shows you, like, my whole mentality of a lot of things in general in life. Like, I'll know and say exactly what my potential weakness is, even as I'm doing it, but then I'll still do it. So you could say, oh, that's dumb. But most people would just do things and not realize what their weakness is. I would at least be self aware and acknowledge it, but then just say, oh, I'm just more comfortable with doing that. Or I somehow, prefer it for some reason. That's the difference is like, right, most people wouldn't be aware of their style to that extent. But I am aware, but then I still do it. Either again, maybe I'm too lazy, maybe I'm just comfortable with that, maybe it's deliberate, maybe it's hard for me to break the habit, but I recognize exactly what the flaw there would be. Now, this I can't say, but see, it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Like, unless I thought that was going to be substantially better, which is really not necessarily. If you take here, it's surprising he'd give me the open file like that. Now, if you bring this here, I can just back rank mate you, regardless of the, regardless of anything else. And so you have the ability to. I mean, you can still sort of do it to the extent that. Oh no, this could actually be bad though, because he's going to be double attacking that. He would take, I would take, he would take, I would still take. You could take here as the problem, otherwise I would like go here and try to bait for a trade. If you take there, it's a problem. I don't know why I think this is somehow a bad thing, but he'll go there and then I can't do anything. He can double take there, but I'll also be able to take, so. I mean, he is like me in this respect, like fucking trade happy. It's 2 minutes into the game and we're already in the end game. So he doesn't want the queen trade. He doesn't want it. Which is odd because now pawn becomes a difficulty for sure, right? The pawn is difficult. I want to stay on the open file. Like, I can't even really decide what it is that I want to do right now. I honestly can't figure out. There's nothing he can do from that position. Now he's going to try to bring his stupid ass thing inside. He's going to try to bring his rook like there to the open file. So now if he comes there, I can check again. So I'm trying to keep, again, you're 2 minutes in, it's only been 2 minutes for each player, and you're already in drawish endgame territory. So you could say, oh, that's just a deliberate style of play that we're both kind of playing into that by trading and stuff. But it's just the reality of it. Like, it doesn't matter to the extent that people, I don't know. What if I do push this super hard? Oh, but I can't see, and now you forget about something you were just doing. So now I can go back, and then, oh, you can't bring the rook. And then if you do try to, this is what happens too. There'll be like one best move, and then if they do that best move, you have to do the same exact thing every time. So he'll make the best move, then I'll have to counter the best move. Then he'll go back, then he'll do it again, and it's like, you'll get threefold repetition because oh, that might be objectively the best move, and then I have to do the one thing that stops it, and then he has to go back, and then his best move is still going to be to go back again. Like, there are situations like that. So what are you supposed to do if that doesn't work? You can't do anything. This would be almost a back rank mate from the, see, like, you can't lose this game. Like, we're secure. We cannot, it's objectively impossible to lose this game. You can't do it. You cannot lose it. It's not possible. The point is that he's reluctant to trade the queen, even though he's been pretty happy with trades throughout. That obviously favors me, or it seems to, at least with how I play. It's not so much that even, oh, I'm defensive minded, but it's that I don't attack her, I don't know how to attack her, I don't even try to attack. So He's not attacking anything, but if he comes here, but I could just take it. I don't know, I want to push something, but I can't figure out what it is. But you can't really push me out with respect to the with the rook, because I could still just take it. Again, he played well and he almost dictated the pace a little bit from oh, but see, I can't do that then. Because he'll take the stupid ass rook. If I push this, he could keep going. I take and check. If he takes, I take, but don't check. Gotta like restrict their movement a lot where, you know, they go here, I could take. Now what he's doing is annoying because he gets to deal with this as well. So if I push it, he could take with the pod. Could raise this pawn to push the queen out, but that doesn't seem worth it either. So what do I do? You know, it seems like a dumb move, but I'll just do it. I'm trying to understand how to attack in chess in general because I never do it or I never try. These moves are probably not good, but I just don't know what to do. Now we can do this move. And that shouldn't change anything. You could go here, but then I can still double take. So if he goes here now, I almost would have to do that. Or I could just force a trade. So I would take, he would take, I take, he takes. Be a very draw worth. Oh, right. That was a big mistake. Why did he even do that? Well, now what you have to do is like keep the king here. And the reason why is because you keep the king there to keep the rook out of the open file. This is what's so annoying. And you can say, oh, we're almost trolling and playing like that on purpose. But it just, there is like a drawish nature of the game that you always have to be weary of. And yeah, there can be a lot of repetitious moves with the same intent and purpose. Like, they make the best move, so why wouldn't they do it? But then, you know, it doesn't matter as much. And yeah, all the degenerate spam checking and stuff that happens is annoying. And I was gonna say that one almost seemed impossible to cover, but he did do it. Yeah, end games can be very stupid that way because you feel like you're not actually able to like, I don't know, this feels like it just shouldn't have happened at this rating. 1200 on inflated dead site. And Even if I take that now. Oh, but oh shit. He can move it into the line of fire there. If he goes down, I can take, so it's not as easy always as it looks. Or he's willing to just do that. The one extra pawn, which does not constitute winning at all. Like, it's possible, but he'd have to fuck up. Let's see here. But yeah, this is the boring side of chess versus a bunch of random stupid shit, draws and whatnot. Even at a low level, even at any level, you like, you're just not gonna win. That's the thing. Like, nobody should be able to win ever if you just use your brain a little bit and you're evenly matched. But somehow, I'm like literally doing the Hearthstone roleplay where like I'm half asleep while fucking playing something. The point is, it's a boring draw. It's not gonna accomplish anything. Or in this case, like, oh, we could trade. He would take, I would take. He would not be able to take. It's like you still have a sense of honor that hasn't been totally beaten out of you, where you know you're not trying to go for draws. You're not just accepting that. You are always trying to win, potentially. Uh, oh wait, you can actually just take that. No way. You should still be able to stop this potentially, but Oh my god, how did that even happen? You're so bored and resign yourself basically to a draw, and then yeah, even there it's stalemate. Either you have to move away or you go there at stalemate. Very simple. Of course, you lose rating even for a draw. What am I, Magnus? Where like he has to play, consistently lower rated players. So of course he's sometimes even gonna lose rating for a draw. Let me see. I'm too tired to fucking even do this. Yeah, that's a perfect example of that kind of a game where it's basically just it's gonna be a draw. It's gonna be stale. It's gonna be repetitive. Like that's all it is. Okay, so today I'll continue my Chess Hotel series yet again, where I'm trying to become basically the highest rated player on here. Maybe not overall, like, period, because there was like 3,800 or somebody crazy like that, which means they're either like actually a really, GM or somebody just bullying all these people or they're cheating. But either way, it's a situation where, um, it's a situation where how are you even gaining rating at that point? Like, pretend, okay, you're 3,659 and you're trying to get to 37, but you're beating 1,700. So like, how that shouldn't even give you anything. Like that should not even give you one rating. So at some point that becomes weird, but whatever. Like, could I get to 17 like that guy? Probably. And of course, I am doing these in like these permadeath pseudo sessions, like where I go till I lose one game, and then if I lose, then I do the second category, which is Clash Royale, and then if I lose a game of that, then I do the third category, which is Hearthstone, which I kind of forgot about that. I was trying to do the underground to get Spectral and Result, but I haven't even unlocked it yet. So yeah, one of my problems and sometimes that I trade too much sort of uncritically. Like even here, I'm playing really way too fast for what it's worth. It's tempting to do that, but then it gets pinned, and maybe it's not so bad. But it's like certain lines like that you got to just learn, period, and just deal with it because like in the opening, it becomes some of these positions will occur hundreds and thousands of times, so that'll lead to a potential fork. So let me not do that. You go here. I'll just take see again, uncritically taking just because. This is a good move because you get to sort of fork them, even just forking for a trade, in the sense that, oh my god. But now this other knight will fuck it up because if it goes there, look how it fucked everything up. Now it'll fuck up the potential fork trade that I was trying to do because now if I go here, then he'll have to move it anyway. Or if I take, then the knight blocked the thing. It blocked what I was just doing. And then if you take here, it's a check into, oh my god. I mean, that's cute, but what if I just, oh, he'll be able to unleash, like, okay, I did. All right. I mean, again, if the knight is involved in the game, if the knight is actually involved in the game, it's just, you're already losing there. You've already lost. Like, there's nothing, you just can't play the game. If the knight is on the board, like, it's all because of the knight. Like, there's nothing that he did, nothing instructive. And I should just take my time more in those situations, but it just got in the way of everything, man. You can take here, I don't care. It'd be better if you took with the knight, then I can at least pin it. Alright. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, there's nothing you can do, like, I don't know what that was, the opening, just, like, basic things that you could, um again, when you have this much time, it's just real shame when that sort of thing happens. Because it shouldn't really be that big of a deal, but right, you should be able whatever. You should be able to he might end up trapping his queen somehow inadvertently, but it's just not gonna happen. This at least pin, but it doesn't really matter too much still. You know, if only had like a pawn to be alright. If only had a pawn to be able to do that, like, you know, to push it out. So that was very strange. I mean, I don't wanna resign, but whatever. We get the point. Let's look at it. Again, that's just one of those that's lost in the opening in a way that what the fuck is happening? Um, like what exactly was the sequence of moves? That what was I supposed to do? And this is just some basic thing you just have to know. Often the queen moves are not good just in general because you're not meant to move the queen so early. So here you're supposed to go, you know, does that seem like an intuitive good move to make? Like, yes, it might be better than that, but like going to the back rank and blocking the thing. So either you're blocking the rook or you're blocking the bishop, like yeah, and then you just lost, so there's nothing you can do. Okay, so today I'll continue my Chess Hotel series yet again, and we were making kind of a little bit of progress, but I don't know, the way I lose some of these is kind of bizarre. Like it's not just in some normal way. Or like it would be it's gotta be always something crazy that happens. Right, or like I'm not paying attention in the beginning. This seems like a bad move somehow, but you know, normally I'd be happy with the trade, but the problem is this is kind of an odd move you could do here, and then it's like an either or. There's only one cover, but it's like, you know, it covers one or the other. I could go here also. The problem is that if that sequence happens, then there's nothing stopping him from coming in with the knight, and then you have like the fried liver situation. Right, so if I do that, if I do like the bishop there, you know, then he takes, I take, but either way the bishop will be positioned like that. But the reason why this is odd is because it leaves the knight in a position where it can't really develop yet, because one of these isn't going to have a cover, but he doesn't attack either one, so you know, you can kind of keep pressing this threat now. Um this is why the queen is such a liability and annoyance in the early game, that is just like, okay, now that is much better because it leaves the knight in a very stupid, silly spot, because that's just awkward, right, for the knight to be there. So now I just didn't want the knight to be able to sit there, which I guess it wouldn't have been able to anyway because of the bishop there anyway. But see, I'm sure that line was misplayed by us somehow. Right, that's one of those, it should be basic. I mean, anything in the opening at some point should be basic. that you could take here, and then I can't take with this, but I can take with this. This is a good spot for it to sit, and the reason why is because if he moves that rook, obviously I could fork or at least take it. You can do weird moves like this too, like where you do that to try to attack. Or I'd be happy even to trade, but I feel like this is my problem though. I'm just too, and it's deliberate. So at least you'd rather have it be where your weaknesses or whatever are on purpose, as in at least you're aware of them, but you do them out of preference. But that was good. I made a mistake there, but it's like, it's out of preference. So you're aware of it, but you're like, okay, I'm what? Okay, that whole sequence is unnecessary. But no, like at least you're aware of it. So like my trade heavy tendency, right? It is deliberate in the sense that now you can't bring it down here, and I will be willing to trade for the knight because this is very awkward to have to cover with my knight here. Yeah, that's the beauty of it, is like you're never gonna like always do everything perfectly, especially from the beginning and when you're learning the game or whatever or anything. But the difference is, do you the different man, he's really pushing that. The difference is, right, are you aware of it or are you at least in control of it? So it's like, okay, I like to trade because it simplifies things. Sometimes that's a weakness because I do it too much or too uncritically, or when you're in a good position and you can kind of press it for an advantage, whatever. Now I have to take that because he's putting just too much pressure on there. But that's the thing. At least let your mistakes be deliberate, in the sense that you're aware of it, but it's still your preference, or it's still what you would like to do for a certain reason. So it's not like you're not aware of it, but it's also like you can't necessarily, you're not going to be able to do everything perfectly. So like stopping it from coming in here is a big thing. This is one of the ways to counterplay against the knight, is just like, don't let it come in anywhere. And if you do that, then it can sometimes be pretty weak, although these pawns are kind of annoying too. Either way, I would have to live with the fact that the pawn might end up there, because if I took with the knight, then he takes and I take. I can connect these two now. But yeah, on one hand, you should say you should try to put a little more effort into looking for what you're doing. But on the other hand, right, you got to find like a certain style of play or something that you feel comfortable with. So even if it's not the best, or the limits of it, that he might push that. He's putting a ton of pressure on this pawn. He keeps trying to go at this. Wait, but he can't even. I think the real trick here, even though it might be giving him pass pawn, or it is giving. Oh no, but I can't even do that. I can't even take it at all because he'll take the knight. Fuck. Once again, settling for a trade. So he's going to be up a couple pawns and he might win that. And he is like 1300, so this is a bit of a mismatch. Not that it really should matter, but just the fact that you could just take it like for free. And the thing is that, or no, I'm in check. Oh, wow. Like I kind of knew that was going to happen, but I thought I would have like an extra move. Again, he's okay, but again, I trade kind of too much, and again, at least be aware of your style, but then sometimes you have to dial it back. It doesn't even mean that's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's pretty good, especially at this stage, but it's just like you have to be a bit more selective. Or wait, normally my format is I only do. God damn it! I only do that till I lose one, so I wasn't expecting to lose that. So now I have to. Fuck. I keep doing like this permadeath rotation, but it's stupid when it only lasts one game. Like I do each of these categories till I lose a game, assuming that I'm not going to lose right away, or assuming, you know, it's going to be like a good, memorable streak. Okay, so today I'll continue my little chess hotel mini-series, which this is basically just a session-based thing where I go till I lose a game every time, and I guess I could also go till I win like 3 or 4, because that's all you can play with a free account. Not that I would mind even getting the premium, but it just feels dumb on a site like this that's like my last refuge to play on because I failed my other challenges. And that really was my wild solution. Like, how do I normally I have like an unlock condition? How do I re-unlock my accounts on chess.com and LeChess? Because first I had said I unlocked the chess.com by getting to 2000 in classical and rapid on I can unlock chess.com. Right, I failed the chess.com challenge, so if I get to 2000 in FIDE, no, 2000 in classical and rapid on LeChess, then I can reopen my chess.com account. But then I failed the challenge on LeChess 2. So now how do I do that? And I said like, oh, I have to get to like 2000 FIDE over the board, which I wouldn't mind trying to do that, but going to the events themselves and, you know, traveling, spending money, doing that, so much time. Obviously, the difficulty of actually playing at that level too, and even trying to record it because you might think, oh, you don't have to do content out of everything, but in a certain sense, I would love to be able to do it. I just don't know how because you could ask them, can you record the game, but it just seems like this is one of my problems sometimes too, is I trade indiscriminately, and you can get away with that to a degree, but at a certain point, it's not even that you can't get away with that later on, but you wouldn't want to, because what you want to do is you want to even here, I like that I'm fucking up all his pawns. Like that's really what it's gonna come down to. Look at his disgusting pawns. They're trash. They're so bad. But yeah, I should be able to do whatever. We'll win like that's what it is. We play till we lose one or till we win like 4 in a row or some shit. Now he's gonna go like there, which I don't really care too much to deal with, but I mean, seems like a bad idea because now yeah, see. He's gonna win a pawn out no matter what. It's just a question of which one. Let him take there, and then that would have been better off just trying to bait for a trade from the beginning. Now I'm gonna lose pawns unnecessarily. But yeah, this side is kind of a little up and down. Like it's hard to judge really the level of these players. That the ratings are all so tight. Like everybody's around like 1,000 to 15. But no, see that's a simple mistaken procedure. Like this move, I didn't have to do that. I could have just gone here. Or well, I guess not really. Like basically just you're trying to trade because I can't do anything else. Like it's hard to assess these kind of positions. Like, okay, I could cover this, but then they take there, so I'm just gonna give up on it. Then he can take here. Like, I don't know what to do. He can almost mate me then. Like, I don't get it. You had to stop it early and not let him get that file at all. Oh, he kind of messed up though. He should have just taken that because then I can't stop him from going there. So we'll try to take this. He'll try to take here. No back rank possible. I mean, it should still be a draw for all intents and purposes, but it's a situation where I kind of want to go on the outside here. Like, let him take these, but I want to take his on the other side. Like, my pawns were better structured. Like, these are both awkward structures. Like, the double stack especially is terrible because what happens is, um, you're gonna, not only do they not connect and protect each other, but they're gonna just, this one's gonna be completely useless. Like, those two are useless. It'll take like a century for him to actually do anything. So even though I mess up some of these pawns unnecessarily, that's sometimes what's boring about it, right? Why do low-rated players, bad players make bad moves? It's not only because they're just bad and they don't get it, but it's not interesting, right? Sometimes the right thing to do is just boring, or it requires a ton of effort and calculation to figure out. So this side is actually pretty good. Now it's a question of, can I raise these up before he raises those? And it should basically equalize. Like in evaluation, it would be a draw, or the fact that his are split out like that could be the difference. Um, right. The fact that he's wasting a lot of moves doing this. The fact that they're split makes it at least less effective, but it might not even matter too much. Here, I'll just keep running them all then, and at least they connect, unlike his, which don't connect. Right, I thought he might just go down under it there, but that's the thing. We should have the advantage insofar as just the actual using one to cover. We can raise this, right, without even needing to use the rook. Endgames are very deceptive because it seems like, oh, it should be so easy because there's so little left on the board, but so is it really going to come down to the fact that, oh, he had a double stack pawn and I didn't, or he had actually two of them? You can do sort of the bait and switch and go with one or the other here, but the problem is that you can't even do that. You could almost do that because now he just can't move it. Like, I wonder if that's really enough. It's still a draw, though. It's still a draw. There was no, oh, whoops. That was the one thing I absolutely should not have done. But it should still promote faster because he could have took it and checked, though. That was so dumb. I put this here so I could cover this and move this. This doesn't matter if he does that. Even if I have to sack it right by the time he does that, I'll just do this. Could still be a little no, he's too far away. I was gonna say he could still be annoying with those two pawns, but yeah, you get away sometimes with not having to think too much, so then you get lazy or develop bad habits, right? Like you're trying to cut down the calculation or the effort, but it doesn't work because um you should try to push yourself or play the best you can. Or again, you get to a level where you kind of have to do more than that. So let's see how many we can do here. I always wonder with the ad-free stuff, how do they still, pay the creators? Like, okay, you do ad-free, but then how do they make money, right? YouTube must pay them directly, but then I don't get how. Based on how much people are still watching those or what? Like based on how many, instead of getting paid for the ads, you get paid based on how many ads are skipped. So it would still count it or something. Bro is wild taking this long in the opening. He's like me in a classical game where I'd spend the first 10 minutes dealing with the opening. Or yeah, like even the guest players are gonna be really shitty, like unrated basically. Not that the site should really be too competitive, but it's just yeah, the point is you should always try to push yourself and like again, make the best possible move. Even if you don't need to, even if you can get away with not doing that, right? Even if you just aren't I don't know. This guy's really oddly slow actually. Look at how long he's taken in the opening. What, you're a 1200 guest on some inflated shit site and you don't even know openings or wow, he's just gonna run out of the clock. Like what could he be thinking so long? It's still pretty early in the game. Oh my god. Fucking done. Wow, he's actually doing it. He's trolling. But yeah, that's my point is like always try to play up to your potential instead of like play to your potential, don't worry about the opponent, try to make the best move every time. Like he thought he wasn't even gonna be in a bad spot. I don't know why he did that. And what is the abortion protection on this site? Like, is it going to be Or that's his trick. He tries to get you to go AFK yourself or fall asleep, and then he will do this. Right. I think I did that a couple times too in classical, although I wasn't doing it for that purpose. I just happened to be going AFK at that time anyway. But I'd go AFK for like 10 minutes and they just quit out or just, whatever. They just get up and leave themselves. And then I finally do come back and then I end up winning and then they're AFK because I took so long that I made them wait or go AFK. Yeah, I shouldn't do this so late. Not that it's really that late, but oh yeah, I'm fighting against my battery too. I forgot my charger for this. So if it runs out, that's as far as I can go anyway. This guy, man. Even if he was doing something special, like again, he's learning openings like I would for the first time. I don't give a shit, man. Or now I lose this shit too. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, wait, what? Who is this guy, man? He took so long, and then he lets me do this. And then he still has something there, but if I bring the queen, it doesn't change anything. If I bring the queen back there, you might want to do this, but then it still doesn't do it. Goes there to the light square. I check with the queen, he can still move. If I check with the bishop, he can still move. So either way, he can go there. I check with this, he goes there. But yeah, I want to see how far I can go on the site, which seems kind of dumb. But as much as I make fun sometimes and trash talk some of these sites, then I end up still losing and not being the best player on there. So it's almost like, if I'm complaining like, oh, it's too easy or wait, what? Or the competition is too weak, then and on average it is, but then it doesn't matter because I'm just a clown anyway. So I should be dominating and beating everybody easily, and then I could justify what I'm saying, but whatever. It is weird how people perceive that too. It's like even like with a dead game, right? You'd say, "Oh, this game's dead," and it's like some card game or whatever. I can't remember what the last thing people were saying that with was, but as long as there's enough people to always find a match, then what does it matter whether it's dead or not? Whether there's a million people playing that you can't see, or whether there's just enough, just your opponent that you're able to queue up against every single time, and you can always find a match, right? Then what's the point? So fuck. The whole thing is like it's still alive enough. Again, you won't get the great variety of players. You might play the same people over and over. You might not get a variety of playstyles. You might not get a variety of decks in that case. So that part is obviously true, and especially at a more competitive way, right? It's not going to be um necessarily the most competitive if you want to take it really seriously. But yeah, like the difference is, there's one person playing at all times at least. You can always find a match versus there's a million, and it really won't make that much of a difference because you're still able to always play. Like this site is actually somewhat active too, for what it's worth. Um, I mean, again, just at least compared to the other sites, that this is like maybe this is the third most popular site now. That Chess 24 is gone. I think ICC is dead. Like a lot of those are just dead now. Chess Kids is kind of oh my god. What do I do? That seems actually pretty active for what it's worth, but it's meant for some moderation purposes, like, oh, a parent can monitor what their kid is doing in chess, like, as if it's even a big deal because, right, like, why do you even need a site like that? Chess is for kids anyway, no matter what, or, anybody can do it. Okay, so this is pinned, but then what if he, like, puts the rook there? Now, if he moves the light screen, this guy's just slow as hell, but he got lucky he won a piece because I wasn't paying attention. Um, this won't actually favor me because he does have the extra piece, but then again, with the amount of time, it should be fine, although I hate to rely on that. We have a very nice thing with the bishop here cover. Ah, man. What the hell? This is the most whack chess website I've ever seen. How did you find it? Just by looking for some of the more active, whatever site besides chess.com or chess is actually active. Which this one is actually not so bad in that sense. How can I survive this extra bishop that he has? But obviously those two are better. Or the other series I was trying to do is like the chess games, like all the games on Steam where you can, that are based on chess or chess themed. The problem is all of those are dead, so you can't find actual players to play against. But yeah, that's what I can do. I can become the highest rated player on the site and show off that, oh, look, I'm the best in the world on this website. Which is probably unironically true, aside from a few exceptions of like, most people on here are like 15 at most. And then there's a few that are like 3,800, which I don't know how the fuck they did that. But they're either cheating or they're just like a super grandmaster trolling people. Or yeah, let's go back to that one. FIDE Online Arena, which nobody plays on and everybody just shits all over that site. Even though it's the official FIDE, doing it. For some reason, the online, they don't have the ability to really do it as well as other sites. But no, I don't like the monopoly aspect of it. The fact that there's so, obviously Lichess is free, but I could farm on this website technically. Seems like the rating variance is really bad though. Yeah, that's almost what I'm trying to do as a challenge of it to see, like, could I pick some little random site like this and try to. But it doesn't seem to matter because I think like I'll get to a certain, okay, like let's say everybody's 15, so I'll get to 15 and then I'll get stuck. Not because I'm losing, but because anybody I beat then will stop giving me too much rating, because which is why I don't get how he gets to 3,800, the one guy, because who is he beating to get to 3,800? If he's the only one, like, it won't show you that now because it doesn't like you using, yeah, you can't pre-move, you can't right click to cancel moves, you can't use like a different tab, like it is pretty scuffed. The Q sucks balls. What is that move? It's just for Russians. Yeah, there's a lot of just guest players too. I have no idea. Actually, I don't know what the story behind it actually is. It's relatively a new site because I was just looking for sites and then I discovered it kind of, or there's like an app, the phone app. Yeah, see, November 2024, that might have been, it might be that recent. Does that come as banned or something? Oh, okay. So in places like that, you would have to use a backup site like this. Or in my case, I would have to do it because I failed all my challenges on the other side. So this is my punishment, that I have to use a shitty site like this. So what is this? Not putting any kind of pressure at all. But I can't move that. I'd like to double stack it right now. I still can't move it though. Yeah, somebody made a video like North Korea still has chess.com, so I guess they don't have it that bad. Like, and people are trolling them, oh, this guy must be held captive. Fuck me. I just said I couldn't move it. Oh, this guy must be held captive by, fucking forget it. By Kim Jong-un or something. Oh my god. See, like, is that really a deserving loss? Like, I'm obviously just not paying attention. But when I have this much time, I don't know why I play like that. And I love that. I say what I just said. Like, I said it 3 times. I can't move the rook. And then I said I still can't move the rook. But then I just do it anyway. It's so stupid. Rusty with time management. Yeah, I just need to play classical like all the time. And it's just so much better. Then even if I lose, I don't mind because I feel like, you know, I did what, you know, I had the chance to think and I just didn't do it. And that is a good lesson to players in general. Like, you know, people are always trying to show off with these stupid bullet formats and stuff. It's just not only non-instructive, but it's kind of anti-instructive. Where you get into, you know, even if you're winning for the wrong reasons. Even if you're losing, you're not really thinking about what you're doing, so it doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, let's look at, yeah, look at this clown. 4,000 rating. Like, what do you mean, dude? How is that possible? Oh yeah, and it has ads and shit too. Not that chess.com doesn't. Rapid Blitz, I'm so confused. That's like the real life Magnus problem. Oh, he wants to get to 2,900, but even if he wins every single game, yeah, very sus. Even if he wins every single game, he's not going to gain rating at some point. Every win must give you at least one, or he must be farming only higher rated players somewhat. But yeah, see, like, could I be 15-13 and be the second highest? I could. I totally could do it. So that's sort of my challenge here that I'm doing. Probably a GM who made this site. It could be, I guess. Or just a GM period who's just playing on the site and bullying everybody, which is perfectly believable. You want to play a game? I usually only play on there until I lose a game anyway, which surprisingly happened. And for some reason, 1174 Blitz. Yeah, that's literally me. Put me in a Blitz game and I fucking... That would be my variance difference. Or like that scene in the Queen's Gambit where Beth is playing against a guy the night before they play in a tournament, the American champion or whatever, and she's getting destroyed in Blitz at like the bar every single game and getting tilted, or like in Bullet. And right, that would be me. And then she ends up winning the classical game. which they don't even show on camera. What do you prefer, chess.com or LaChess? I have this dummy account just for playing viewers, the Chaturanga only thing. Which, yeah, I'm being pretty harsh for the penalty because I failed the challenge on both collectively, whereas normally I at least have one or the other to fall back on. In fact, that's the reason why I originally went to LaChess, was because I had failed the challenge on here. And we get this lovely checkers board too, which suits my level of play, I guess. I'm playing checkers while everyone else is playing chess. So let's try to get this. This is one thing actually I like, that I can show the chat when doing this compared to other games. Yeah, that's it has a premium option too, and ad, so it's not exactly like, you know, if at least if it had the free thing going for it. That's what everybody respects about LeChess so much. Like, let's see really what we can do here, because I have this uncanny ability to get like these drawish positions, even against players that are this good. Maybe it's just because they're trolling, or maybe it's just again my style of play that I play so safe that I don't expect. Because there'll be like some tempo. They'll win because of tempo. Like, oh, I'm gonna make some. That in itself is a shitty move by me, um, but no, like they'll get ahead of tempo because they're trying to attack and I don't. But my whole rationale with that is like, I wasn't gonna win anyway, is what I would think. Right, like if I try my best attack and I really sit here for 10 minutes and you shouldn't think like that because you should still try, but in reality, I'm not going to be able to beat him like that. Right, there's no way it should happen. So my only thing is like, okay, I can play defensively and draw, and people might say, oh, you shouldn't do that, but when you're playing a mismatch, I've seen professional players do that in tournaments. Like a 2300 is playing a GM and they're trying to draw. They're not trying to win. They're not going to win. They know they're not going to win. Right? Sometimes some fluky thing happens and they actually do, but you can't pretend like, I don't know. Like, what would be the expectation, right? Why should you expect to win that? Just because they get overconfident, maybe a little bit. Yeah, see, this seems like a perfectly comfortable position. But now we'll get into some weird nuance. It's actually pretty instructive sometimes because what I do is like so deliberate that even I maybe shouldn't allow this still. It's so deliberate that it'll be very clear what it is that causes me to lose. Right? So like it won't be any mystery or anything unusual. Now the knights are going to sort of trap each other is the problem. And the reason why is because I don't know. You know, like double stack on this position seems so familiar too. I feel like I've seen this exact line a number of times play out. Maybe not the knight there, but like this whole, this is my anchor pawn that now he's gonna put pressure. Um, I make a lot of unnecessary moves too, like in an in between sense. Like when I just don't know what to do, then I'll start doing random things. Or this site always overestimates my level of play too. Like I'm really only 1500 on here at best, probably more like 14 because I'm always so inconsistent for 13 to 14. But then it'll say, oh, I played like an 1800 because I don't know how the site assesses it. Like I swear, people on this site are jacked out though. It's actually insane. It's probably very similar to FIDE standards because they're like way better than you would expect for their rating. What is even happening? We go here, like what? Why was my bishop even there? Yeah, see, I play way too fast. Like, why do I have 8 minutes left when clearly he's better? But let's see how difficult it is for him to. Okay, this is just an unnecessary move. I mean, this is unnecessary. Like that move was nothing. This is what I don't like about Shafts period. Like, there's no need. There was nothing he was doing that would have ever made me make that move. I just do it because like I get bored basically. People on this site like 100 elo from FIDE. Yeah, that sounds about right. That's so dumb. See, now I'll lose this and I'll be like, oh look, he's better than you because he's 2300. But that would be fairly obvious. It's just a question of um he wouldn't need to be that good to beat me here when I make a dumb move like that. That's so trash. See, that's not a normal move that I would normally make. So that just totally unnecessary. Yeah, see now if 1500 could beat me, it wouldn't matter with a move like that. Or again, I'm too predictable and lazy when it comes to that, like to trading stuff. Because I just take it too uncritically. Like no matter what, I'll just trade just because it'll make it easier for me, simpler. Even if I have some other advantage or I have to be selective, I just don't do it. Still doesn't seem that bad, but just the whole um giving up that knight for no reason was absolutely stupid. The pawns seem pretty under control, so it's the extra knight that he has. Really weird, but the higher you go, the more or less committal people get. Like nothing he's done so far indicates like a vast disparity of quality in the players. It just feels so normal. And maybe I'm not the best judge of that. Maybe there's things happening that I don't realize that his position is still very good, but that would be suicide because you kind of need the queen in a situation like that where you can just try to put a certain amount of pressure, but it's obviously not going to happen. You got the rarely seen triple stack, which is cute. But because this is one of those little Spanish teacher moments, the idea that you don't want with the double stacks and the triple stacks, you don't want it to be ladies first because oh no, then or wait, you could like oh, but it wouldn't be a back rank though anyway. But yeah, it's like you don't want the queen in front because now regardless of the fact that you have a triple stack, you still can't do it because you will lose the queen first. Now, see, that would have been good, but he's too good to let anything happen. Okay, here, can't take there. This is not covered. I could go to the back rank. You can definitely take this now, though, regardless. Yeah, see, we can always drag this out. He used up 5 minutes. He didn't do anything too crazy. Right, he wouldn't be winning that much positionally, but obviously I just gave up the free knight. The only way to explain why I made the moves I do is to actually state my thought process out. I think this has been pretty basic though. This game felt very normal. Or maybe that's just the wrong expectation too, to think, oh, you're playing a better player, so they should just be destroying you in like the first 20 moves or like be some major advantage early, right, in the opening or something. But that's not necessarily how chess always works. It's just this one was basic. Usually the ones where I do the queen odds are much more fun. Yeah, and by that logic, if I had queen odds, I would have won because he didn't do anything so spectacular. Oh shit, my battery's about to go too. Then I forgot my charger here. That was an obvious mistake. But yeah, if not for that knight move, I'm curious to see the accuracy though, because it'll still be like, oh, you played like an 1800. I swear, it always overestimates. Or he could just take that period. Most of the time, my management is linked to how you actually use your time. Okay, let's a good game. Let's see what it says. So aside from those 2 mistakes, okay, that's more realistic. 1350 versus 2100, which is only a difference of 10 accuracy, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Right, like let's just look at some of the moves that it wants you to make, especially around that time. That was a great move, apparently. Even putting the knight there is just stupid. Like, you know, but this is what happens with the knight. It just doesn't do anything for you. It feels always under pressure. So again, I clearly saw this, but I just did it anyway because I'm a clown. It wants you to push the pawn and mess up my beautiful V-shaped structure. If you use 5 minutes, or try to use 3 minutes. Oh. Yeah, that one was self-inflicted, and then from there, I'm obviously losing pretty bad. They've improved the positioning of their knight, as if that matters at that point anyway. Yeah, that one felt actually pretty respectable. From chess.com, own admission, they try to keep the accuracy between 80 to 95%. But what does that mean? It's not up to them. Like, if you play like garbage, it'll be way less. If you play perfectly, I don't see how they can really control that. Okay, so today I'll continue my Chess Hotel little mini series, and yesterday was kind of funny because I forgot my charger for my computer, so then the stream ended actually when my battery just died, which was kind of towards when I was gonna end anyway. But I was playing I forget how you say his name, but it's like Thuylnee. Like I don't even want to try to say it because I'll butcher it, but yeah, he's a pretty good player, and it was one of those games where, again, I'm not saying I would have won or something, but I make a mistake that's pretty basic, right? That has nothing to do with how good he is. So that part kind of annoys me. Whenever I play like really good players, either I don't know if they're maybe not trying that hard, or maybe my style of play is resilient like that. It never seems like they're that much better. Or like that kind of win. Oh, anybody could have done that. A 1500 could have won, the exact same way. I don't really feel their strength as much, which is maybe a testament to how I play. What the fuck? Magnus Kunsen. Bro thinks he's Magnus. Now he's doing like some sort of speed run, but why the fuck would you do it on Chess Hotel? But no, I'm gonna take it super seriously and actually try to conquer this side. I keep talking trash about it. Bro. I don't care even if you are a master. I'm still fuck you. Let's see. I don't care even if you're a fucking GM. Without a queen, what are you gonna do without a queen? Show me I'm even, dude. Dude. Like really, now I gotta take it serious though because he's gonna do some cheeky shit. I don't know if this guy's trolling or if he's. You would think he would have to be pretty good, otherwise. Yeah, I don't actually know what to do with this kind of moment. I get too concerned with the pawns and then I end up fucking up. Yeah, see, that's exactly what I wanted to happen, but he just keeps pressing it. But again, without the queen, how? Explain to me how. You know what I mean? Like, you can't. And it favors me especially because, again, all I have to do then is trade the rest of the pieces, which if nothing else, I'm good at doing that. Like, I always trade everything. What I might actually do is I'll queenside castle because he's not going to expect that. Right, under this circumstance, I think that's actually the correct thing to do because whatever pressure he's loading up here, without the queen active for him, it's very unlikely that he's going to be able to do anything. Right, like it's going to be virtually impossible for him to. Now, this square is concerning, though. If he goes to this light square. Fuck. So he's going to put it here to stop it from going here. Because that, like, traps the queen right there. Bro thinks he's so cute. Now you go here, but I can take you go here. I can't do much of anything about it. He is actually pretty good, though. You can just tell he's so confident. At least that's an indulgent. And why is he only 1200 then if he's trolling? I'm something of a troll smurf myself. But no, there's no shame in using your time. In fact, I should use my time. So, like I said, the queenside castle. I can't go here with the queen because then you go. This square is actually very annoying, and I can't do anything about it. Right? Like I cannot stop him from going there. What the fuck? And then he could even. Oh man, I almost. Ah, fuck. If only the knight could counter it, but it can't even go there. This is where you have to do the trades because you get to. You can just tell, man. At least you could say you got beaten by Magnus without his queen. Okay. Well, I can use as much of my time as I want. Although I am a little bit at a loss because I'm trying to stop this square and I don't understand how to do it. Maybe I'm overestimating the value of that, but like, okay. Now I won't even take. I'd rather him go there with the pawn. Like, what is my purpose in doing all this? I don't know. I'm gonna end up trapping my stupid ass knight. Make some sort of brazen ballsy type move, but even that is fine with me because you get to. That's actually what I wanted to do. Because now the queen is there. If you push this, then you need somewhere for the knight to escape to. Because if he goes like this, then I can't do anything. Always the knight that gets me in trouble. He would take. I can't take. You go here, or even interestingly, you go there with the knight. Which amid all this, he's doing this shit. So I did lose a piece. I mean, he's good, but amid all this, he's doing a royal fork. And he has this cheeky pin idea here, too. How is it over? But this guy talks too much. I mean, I'd be impressed. I certainly was not expecting this, but... And that's, again, always the telltale sign of a good player that I say is they don't allow you to trade pieces. Like, he's consistently been... fuck, I should have queenside castle, like I said. Like, this should guarantee a trade, because now... you're going to get one or the other. Again, the more you dwindle... So I just lost a piece net. Right? Net loss of a piece, but it's okay, because... that's what I want. Again, the more trades you do, the better it's going to be. So you go here. He takes there, it's fine. If he goes there, take. It shouldn't be that hard to survive this. Like, what does he do? How does he do it? I don't know. But again, giving up that knight is the same sort of thing I said in the last game. Like, it has nothing to do with him. Like, I'm just doing weird stuff. Like, I get psyched out or something. It's so annoying. You have the double stack, but I would never be able to even use it, so what's the point? Maybe try another game, poker. Um, the thing is, I don't know the queen because, like, I don't know where to put it. Maybe I will do that for now and just see what happens, but the double stack is kind of useless. I like this guy's trash talk. I mean, he's very fast. This is the V-shaped structure, but I don't like it because of the... Damn. Because of the knight there. If you end Pizan, I take... I'm playing kind of sloppy, though. Like, I even know it. I do feel like it forces me to play differently when if I just am constant. Okay, I mean, like that he didn't do that. Hard to say what he's exactly doing, though. Doesn't feel like it's that impactful. Right, I'm still up by like +5, +6 because I gave up the knight and I got the queen, so not like that's a fork, but he's hitting this. You know, like, okay, let's call his bluff. If I go here, then let him trade it. Like, it's stupid, but I'm fine with it because it's like, can you really afford to lose what little material you have left? You can't, see? This is the problem, even though I don't really want to do it like that. I don't know what exactly I'm doing, though. Where was my queen even trying to go? Ah, fuck. I'm gonna end up flagging or some shit, though. Okay. And now I can move this, create the double stack for real. What I don't see what bringing the king in there does at all. This bishop is in a dreadful position, though. I mean, like, you got to give him credit. He's clearly a good player. He's obviously smurfing pretty hard. We double stack onto there. You take there, or no, you can't do it. Never mind. It's mainly the time now. That's such bullshit, man. Whenever I play against better players, it always comes down to that, like the time factor. Okay, let's see what brilliance he can come up with such little material. I'll just keep moving my fucking king. I'll try to bring... Oh, here we go. How does he even break through that, though? He'll have to sack something, which you really can't even afford to do. So, these pawns, I mean, you're looking at a draw situation, more so than anything else. I want to move this, but I don't understand why. You take, I take... I mean, at some point, I could just take one of these, but I don't know why either. I'm just sort of moving at random for now, seeing if you can break through what I have. Again, I'd be even willing to... I'd be even willing to do something like... The... Okay. That was good. That was good. It's sort of punishing my overuse of the... Okay, okay, dude. Okay. Okay. I'll give him some credit on that. I mean, again, I don't even mind if you take that. I just care about this. What the fuck? I mean, obviously the guy's good then. What do you want me to say? But why is he 1200 then? Like, he could be smurfing, but I mean, let's analyze that and see like what kind of. Okay, I'll give it to him there. Like, I don't even know how to explain that, but like what level? It doesn't tell you really even. Um, that's why he's entertaining. We don't get much excitement on this site, but like, what the fuck is that? Like, really, what the fuck? The white's down a queen, but of course he's still winning. Like, what kind of a position is that that allows that? Or he's down like 6 points because now it's more drawish. So what am I supposed to do? I go there, let him take. What do I do here? Supposed to raise this, give a random check or anything. So what does that change? So yeah, that guy's interesting. I mean, I gotta give him credit. I could have within reason, I could still draw a game like that, but I just get psyched out, I guess. I mean, those moves are really what you'll remember. This thing with the knight, like, what am I doing with the knight? Why am I doing that? Why am I even using it? Right? I keep saying how bad the knight is, even though that's apparently the right move. It's like, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I'm still winning even after that, so I'm happy in that sense with the trade, but I don't know. I mean, it's impressive. Like, it's not easy to do what he just did. This was a very interesting. So maybe moving the bishop there was totally stupid. If I just kept the bishop there, right? That pawn ended up being the weak spot. Because again, it's sort of stupid because they have so little to attack you with. Hang on. I wanted to see if I can look at his profile or something. But yeah, I mean, give it to him. I don't know what level he played at, but clearly, that's not a normal player. Um, he's talking trash. He's doing some kind of speed run. So I don't know. Or I can't even look at the game at all, can I? Like, fucking. Yeah, he's only 1200, so or maybe I can find it through here. Or he'd be a little higher than that now. What? What? He's gone. But yeah, we got a nice little entertaining thing there, and I'm kind of just so confused as to what even just happened, but